Every time a man puts on a corpse makeup, he can't wait to take off the clothes of the deceased until his whole body is not hanging. Today, a beautiful woman with a good figure came to pick up his belt. But the strange thing is the dead girl suddenly opened her eyes, but the man was calm and relaxed his mind and chatted with the girl. Tell her, this is in the infirmary, you are already dead. But the woman opened her eyes directly. It is obvious that she is full of doubts about her death. Since she is already dead, why can she still speak? The man saw the girl refuse to believe and took out a death certificate directly. It clearly states that the woman died in a car accident. He carefully recalled everything that happened. What he remembered was that there was a car accident at the end of the car. But he didn't remember what happened after that. Although the woman felt that her death was a bit ugly, the old king didn't care. He was busy wiping her wounds. But Anna kept emphasizing that she was not dead, begging the old king to let her go, and ensuring that everything that happened would be kept secret. But the old king didn't care at all, and let her accept the fact that even death cannot be revived. Since she was dead, she had to die in peace. Then she stitched up the wound with Anna. But the strange thing is, she didn't feel any pain. At this time, the old king took a look at the watch, and then took out a tube of yellow medicine, and put it on Anna's body. Soon she fainted and died, and his mother looked at the wild girl, again before Anna's funeral. Although the mother was extremely sad, but when she left, the mother asked the nurse to dress her daughter beautifully. The old king was so busy that he promised to cover the white cloth quickly. He seemed to be afraid that his mother would find something strange. When Anna woke up again, the time had come to midnight. At this time, she had regained her ability to move. Although she touched her pulse, she didn't feel any jitter. She tried hard to hit the bed with her arm, but she still didn't feel any pain. But Anna fainted. Did she really die? She wanted to call for help, but the phone line was cut off. She wanted to escape from here, but the door was locked from the outside. What a coincidence! At this time, her boyfriend came to the infirmary. She wanted to see her fiancé. Unfortunately, she was stopped by the old king as an outsider outside the door. No matter how the boyfriend begged her, the old king refused. After Anna heard the familiar voice, she hit the door crazy. I don't know how good the soundproofing of the house is. The boyfriend didn't hear any movement. In this way, Anna and her boyfriend missed the only chance. In order to vent her emotions, she smashed things crazily in the room. She asked the old king if he was a human or a ghost. But the old king said he had the ability to see. You are just a cold corpse in other people's eyes. But only in his eyes can you see his true appearance. And this kind of lie can only fool an 8-year-old child. Anna realized that she was still alive. The old king must be hiding some secret on purpose. In order to escape as soon as possible and find out the truth, she took advantage of the old king's departure, but she hid a pair of scissors behind her and was ready to attack the old king. But the lover who came back from outside knew nothing about it. After that, Anna took the opportunity to stab him. Unexpectedly, she stabbed a lonely man. He ran to the door desperately, but the door was locked by the old white man. Seeing that the old white man walked over again, Anna raised the scissors in her hand and threatened the old white man to keep a distance from her, who knew that the old white man didn't eat his inner peach and held his hand against his neck. Come on, stab here. In the end, Anna didn't dare to stab him. The old white man said to Anna that the reason why he could hear the corpse talking was because he was born with a special talent that could communicate with people who were separated in life and death. In other people's eyes, he was just a cold corpse. Anna, of course, didn't believe it. She started to vent her anger and threw everything in the lab to the bottom. However, when she was about to collapse, she stepped on the broken glass and didn't feel a thing. That day, the old white man brought her back a beautiful shirt. Anna liked it very much. At the same time, she saw the old white man put the key of the room in the pocket of her coat. After that, she pushed the stretcher to pull the fresh corpse. After the old white man left by car, Anna quickly took out the key. But if there were too many keys, she could only try one by one. At this time, the old white man, who was still cheering, didn't notice it. However, when he paid the money, he suddenly found that the key was missing. He immediately felt bad and hurried back by car. At this time, Anna finally opened the door of the house, but she still couldn't get out because the door of the villa was also locked. She could only try again and again. Finally, she opened the last door, and the old white man also drove downstairs. She could only find a place to hide for the time being and was ready to fight to death. She knew that once she was caught, she would never have a chance to get out. Fortunately, the old white man didn't find her. She came to the door again and found that the key to the door had been taken back by the old white man. In a panic, she found a phone in a room. Anna couldn't wait to dial the number of her boyfriend, Paul. But what was unexpected was that when her boyfriend heard her voice, he hung up the phone directly. It turned out that since Anna had a car accident, Paul has been unable to accept the fact. Recently, there have been more and more hallucinations, unconsciously suspecting that there was something wrong with his mind. Just when Anna's face was unrecognizable, the old white man had come behind her. He persuaded Anna to accept the reality. This would only make those who loved her more painful. In order to make Anna give up, the old white man pulled out a grape. This also became the last straw because his own eye in the mirror was covered with blood. Why? Do I look like a corpse? Because you're not a corpse. This time Anna had nothing to say. Her heart began to slowly accept the fact that she was dead. Are you dead? At this time, a sound suddenly came out of the window. It turned out to be the neighbor's little boy who was shocked by this strange scene, because Anna is the head of his elementary school. But the old white man didn't take it too hard. Believe no one will believe a child's nonsense. And at this time, Anna was also completely blinded. Just when she completely gave up hope, a sigh appeared in the mirror. The old white man blushed a little. Before Anna noticed, he wiped off the traces on the mirror. Since then, Anna has fully accepted that she is a corpse. Whenever someone comes, the old white man will inject him with a mysterious drug. On this day, an officer came to visit. He wanted to visit his just-dead brother at this time. Anna's head suddenly moved. This scene happened to be seen by the police. Due to professional sensitivity, he seemed to notice something was wrong. So he proposed to stay alone with his brother for 2 minutes. The old white man could not come up with any reason to refuse. He had to leave for the time being. Then the fat policeman walked to Anna's side and picked up the white cloth on his body. Because at this time Anna had no clothes on her body. He had to close his eyes and feel the heartbeat with his hands. At this time, the old white man suddenly broke in. The fat policeman did not know how to explain. He could only escape from the scene. On the other hand, Anna's boyfriend Paul came to the school to clean up his clothes. That little boy stopped him. He said the teacher might still be alive, because he saw the teacher standing in front of the hospital in red clothes. This was originally good news, but Paul knocked the boy down. He thought the little boy was making fun of him. But on the way home by car, he accidentally saw the red skirt the model was wearing in the window. Anna happened to have one, too. She suddenly felt a little cold and drove all the way to the hospital to confront the old white man. But the old white man was still as calm as ever. He said the dead could not come back to life. How could a child's nonsense be true? How could Paul believe him? He broke in regardless of the obstacles. He found the door of the funeral home and shouted Anna's name loudly. The old white man followed him and moved with a pair of scissors. But Anna heard her boyfriend's voice and remained still. Because of this, she believed that she was dead. Except for the old white man, no one could hear the sound of a corpse. Seeing that Anna had not spoken, the old white man also relaxed. He began to comfort Paul and forced her to leave. Speaking of calling the police, this reminded Paul that he immediately found a classmate who was a police officer. He hoped he could help himself with a search warrant. But the police thought he had an illusion, and even hit a young child hard. He said he had taken out Anna's death certificate. But Paul immediately found the problem. The doctor at the time just checked the pupils and pulse and determined death. He thought Anna might have been injected with a certain drug. This point of view was supported by another police officer, because he knew there was indeed a kind of water and emulsifier that could completely numb a person in a few seconds and make his heartbeat almost zero, seeing that the police officer. However, Old White told him the news that Anna was not dead. Paul suddenly got up. But the most urgent thing now is to save Anna. So he rushed to the top of the tomb. Paul, who had drunk a lot of wine, could not concentrate at all. Suddenly, a white light flashed in front of him. It seemed that something happened in it. Seemed that nothing happened. He finally arrived at the top of the tomb. He dug out Anna's grave and took her out of the coffin. After a lot of rescue, Anna finally woke up gradually. If you think this is all true, then you are wrong. The real ending is that the white light just now was the last moment of Paul's car accident. The rest of the story was his dream. When he woke up again, he had come to the funeral and lay on the platform where Anna lay. It was still the face of Old White with a creepy face.